Let's get
I'm
it.
Zach Blackerby. He is Elijah Reed. We set up at several shows under the moniker Auburn Cards, and over the weekend we had major FOMO, incredible FOMO of everything that was happening at Fanatics Fest, and we got to make it a priority to go there next because it seems like Fanatics just absolutely knocked it out of the park.
Dude, it looked awesome, man. It like from every aspect, even like card show aspect, just entertainment aspect, and it just that many celebrities in one building, like that are involved with a hobby, was just awesome to see. I was like, wow, I wish I was there.
Yeah, and like you're seeing all the larger card hobby content creators. They're like set up at their table, or maybe they're buying at another table, and then up there's Wimby just walking by.
Right, it's
Or
casually.
yeah, and then like the Jeff Wilson interaction and deal with A-Rod, like that's super
Yeah,
cool. CJ Stroud buying a Kobe Bryant rookie, like so many cool moments that I
I
think are
think
just incredible for the hobby. Like they've done such a great job. Was some of it manufactured and a little awkward? Possibly, but I don't care. I don't care about any of that because I think so many people are seeing this, and Fanatics has done a great job with just the overall branding of it.
I
And
think the
maybe there's
biggest,
a societal
yeah,
conversation to be had about like, are we too susceptible to like celebrity and athletes? Maybe, but it like there's a reason why this is working. And just seeing like Tom Brady talking shop and like, I mean, even the moment of like Kevin Durant being revealed that he was traded like while he was there on stage, like it's just there were so
that was
many
crazy.
cool moments, and I wanted to be there really bad.
Yeah, I think Topps making a moment and a card out of that was actually really clever. That was sick. But I think the biggest moment for like the hobby this weekend was when Roth sold his Jaden 101 to the Commanders owner. I was like, that is sick. That is sick. Like there's and that was not that just seemed very wholesome because they're just like on stage. I don't know if you saw the whole video.
Yeah.
He's like, we're looking for the biggest Jaden card. And like one guy, I think he had like a downtown. He's like, oh, we're looking for bigger. And the Roth dude just comes out of nowhere with his 101. I was like, dang. And he just like, I think he said 2 mil at first. And he's like, we'll do how about 500,000? I was like,
Well, and they have like a few of the big Jaden one of ones, right?
yeah,
Like
they
I
have
think
a
they've
few.
got like multiple of the prisms, and then I think they've got the select as well.
Possibly. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I think I saw that in another video. But yeah, and that interaction's cool because I've seen that video now from like 5 or 6 different vantage points,
Yeah.
which kind of makes it feel like, oh man, like they really missed out. Like if you're not here, like you really missed out because there are so many different people that kind of knew in real time like how cool and special that transaction was.
And I think it makes it even cooler because like that wasn't even at the show. I think that was like a trade night.
Trade night. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and it kind of shows like trade nights can be just as big as like the shows.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And I think that's a big part of the national we'll talk about in a second. But I do wonder if we're gonna see more of this. Like it's not unusual to see, I mean, even like some of the local shows that we do, we see, local, former collegiate athletes sign, or, maybe retired wrestlers sign, or, baseball guy, whatever that might be. But I do wonder I wonder what the trickle down effect of this is. I mean, there's people comparing this, like if you had to pick between the national or Fanatics Fest, like there are people that are now willing to say Fanatics Fest, which is saying something.
Right. Yeah. It's
And I
definitely saying
wonder what
something.
the trickle down effect of that, like culturally within the hobby, will be. Are there going to be people that try to do more event type things at card shows, or is this just going to be a standalone thing that like Fanatics does, and that's it?
I would hope people try to, emulate, not emulate, but kind of ramp it up to that level because
Yeah,
the
take
hobby is
pieces of it.
growing. Yeah, take pieces of it, take heed. Like people enjoy what they're doing. Like it's not going unnoticed. It was all over my feed the entire weekend. Fanatics Fest, Fanatics Fest, Fanatics Fest.
Right.
And I mean, why not? Take a play out of that playbook and try to emulate it to some of your smaller shows or the Midwest Monster or like Dallas. Will they try to move towards more so that showy type show or keep it like traditional show? Because I think that was
Yeah.
the biggest argument last year is like, is this too much you know, too much for a show, for a card show. Too much,
Mhm.
show like extracurriculars and not true to just a show. But I think this year it really showed that hey, this is the best of both worlds. Entertainment and a very, very, very good card show.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so many stuff around sports, which is great. And the hobby, what Fanatics is trying to do is get all these sports fans to, it's like, oh, well, I love watching Drake May throw touchdown passes. Well, let me go get a card of Drake May. Like they're trying to bridge that gap, and it's working. I really think it's working. And they had like the NBA had a court set up there where people could
Yeah.
shoot
They had
on.
everything, dude.
Yeah, my understanding there was F1 stuff. I'm sure there was like some baseball related stuff or whatever. They had a major promotion of like the new Happy Gilmore movie, and you could like, do your swings and all that. So it sounds like it was pretty pricey if you wanted to go. It was like the only way you could go on Saturday, my understanding is if you had to pay $300 for the 3-day pass,
Mhm.
or you could buy just a 1-day pass for $70 each for Friday and Sunday. So it almost seems like it's geared towards families, but then the price point is like, I don't know if that's how like sustainable that is, but you got a lot for the ticket, it seems like.
Yeah, you get a lot. You get a big bang for your buck. I mean, I haven't. I don't think in my lifetime I've ever seen that many celebrities throughout my lifetime. But to have them all in one place, like like the possibilities to even get to dap up Tom Brady or Wimby is like, that's worth $300 to me.
Seeing Wemby next to like normal size people,
It's insane, dude.
it's crazy. It's
He
like that
can't look
dude
anyone
is an
eye to eye.
alien.
If he's looking like he can't look anyone eye to eye. If he's just, it's just tops of
No, like
heads.
maybe if he's sitting on the ground like crisscross applesauce would be the
Yeah, he's
same
probably
height.
5'7". He's probably like our height, sitting crisscross
Just
applesauce. Not
sitting
gonna lie.
down.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So all in all, Fanatics Fest seems like they killed it. I'm curious to
yeah,
see what that does as far as growing the hobby. I think um I mean, I know there's a lot of opinions on like Fanatics as a company and
yeah.
Ruben and all that, but I don't think you can critique anything they did this past weekend. I really
It's
don't.
definitely getting eyes on the hobby. It's getting a lot of eyes on the hobby, and I think I sent you the thing too. They did like they're doing like a sort of like a ESPN type recap of like the biggest moments. I'm like, dude, they even got ESPN wrapped up in this. That's sick.
Yeah, that's
That's sick.
cool. That's cool. He talked at one of the panels. I think it was there, or maybe he did an interview. I assume it was still there, but talking about how last year they lost like millions of dollars.
Mm,
And I mean, maybe they'll lose money this year too, but just I can't imagine a better way to spend marketing dollars than what they've done because every influence, I mean, you just said it, same with me, like it's all over our feeds and all like you look at what these accounts are doing that have these viral posts with these interactions with CJ Stroud or, A-Rod or whatever. And you look at that post compared to like what they normally do on their site, on their sites or accounts. And it's like, it's way up. So everybody's winning in this situation. So
yeah.
cool stuff. Cool stuff. So the national is getting closer. What are you doing from a timing standpoint when it comes to what you're buying, who you're buying, what range you're buying as we lead up to the national?
I think my play for nationals. Keep in mind, this is my first nationals. This is my first time ever going. But I think the hobby is in such a good space that where I feel confident to go very card heavy, QB heavy, football heavy. In that I think 100 to like 2K range heavily. Like I wouldn't mind going there with a lot of cards because for me it's getting harder because I'm not setting up. I'm not a vendor. I don't have a table at
Sure.
nationals, so it'll be hard to buy cards, I think, at nationals. Maybe if I can get a deal done with like, people walking around like us, that'd be cool. But like as far as going up to like a vendor table and buying like, hey, I want to buy this, it's probably gonna be I might be priced out. I'll probably be priced out. So I'm planning on going heavily card heavy and coming back with, some money, hopefully.
Yeah. And then start the process all over again. Maybe if I mean we've got a few shows that are set up around the start of football season. Maybe
Yeah.
capitalize on that type of thing. But yeah, I mean that's what we saw last year, especially with some of these quarterbacks that we knew at the time were inflated, like Will Levis, like Anthony Richardson. I mean, I remember sitting at a show and I'm like, with you, and I was saying, like, I don't get the Will Levis stuff. Like, why are people paying this much for Will Levis? Like, it's very clear that he's not good
Yeah, you were
or in a
saying that a lot.
situation to be good. I mean, the market of like playing for the Titans, like, how much does that get you? Which I'm fascinated to see what happens with Cam Ward when his rookie stuff comes out next year. But I still think there's some of that this year. Like, I'm not super high on Rattler. I know you are. You have like some bangers for Rattler, and we'll see what happens with who wins that job. If he wins the job, then man, you and several other Rattler collectors are in a great spot. You know, JJ McCarthy, I think is fascinating. How high his market is. I think Caleb Williams is super interesting, especially with the National being in Chicago. Like, how does that impact it?
Yeah.
There's some quarterback markets that I think are very, very interesting. Bo Nix is high. Like, I don't ever see any Bo Nix cards. I see way less of his cards than I do any of the other rookie quarterbacks. Is that because people are there less of them? Are people holding on to them? I don't know. Like,
holding.
the intricacies of this quarterback class is fascinating.
Very fascinating. I don't know. You got guys like Penix and JJ and May who didn't really play a lot last year,
Right.
and their
Yeah.
markets
Right.
are like stable. They're like at that median level for me. They're not. I don't think they'll go any higher, but if you go into the season and they start performing, I think they see a bump. Whereas like last year with a Stroud, we saw a dip, even when he was performing mid level performance. Nothing
They didn't
too
want a playoff game.
spectacular. Yeah. Um, I think there is room to get in on those guys. Not like a JD5 or like a Caleb. I think those guys are pretty high. But if you're looking at a JJ or a May or a Penix, they still have some room to grow, I think.
Which rookie quarterback of the big ones, the main ones, which rookie quarterback scares you the most from a hobby market standpoint?
JD5, man. He has to do what he did last year and possibly more for that market to sustain. The sophomore
Yeah.
slump is real and it's scary. If you look at Stroud last year around this time, great numbers. You look at Stroud in season, scary. You're down. You're
Yeah.
down. What about you?
I agree with Jaden. I definitely would not buy Jaden right now unless you're planning to flip before the national or before the season. As far as like long term though, I would say JJ McCarthy. I wasn't super high on him entering the draft, and I think he's being priced at a point where like I don't know what he would need to do to get back up to that point after he starts playing. So I would say JJ McCarthy.
Okay. Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
all
think
these guys,
Bo
man.
Nix and Drake May are the safest, in my opinion. And then I think Caleb, I don't know. I wouldn't buy Caleb either, honestly.
I agree with you. Drake and Bo Nix,
Bo,
they seem pretty safe. I'm all right with buying Penix.
sure.
He's kind of set up. He could win that division out there. It's pretty low comp.
Yeah, it's a weak division. I think Penix stuff is priced reasonably. Like there's room for that market to go up. I think there's
Yeah.
so much baked into Jaden where I agree with you. It's like, okay, this
Right.
really feels like Stroud a year ago. And I know you said mid for Stroud, but I think Stroud's a really good quarterback. So like I don't understand the hobby love. And with him being at Fanatics Fest and being one of the athletes that Tops is clearly pushing, does that impact things at all? I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Time will tell.
Yeah. Yep. The NBA finals are now done. We're in the off season. The draft is tomorrow night as we record this. What NBA guys are you eyeing going into the off season?
As far as pickups,
Yeah.
I'm really high on Cade Cunningham this offseason. I don't mind buying some Brunson up this offseason. He played his butt off in the playoffs. Cade
Sure.
Cunningham, I like that Pistons team. They're young, they're hungry. I
Yep.
hope they make a great move this offseason. I hope they get a nice big to accompany Duran in the draft. That'd be nice. Seward Thompson, another Piston guy. Thompson twins. Amen. He's got KD, so really high on the Rockets for next year coming out the West. Um, this might seem like a hot take, or Anthony Edwards is my guy. I do not think he's a buy right now. He kind of got
He's
to wait and
high.
see how to
His
yeah. You
market's
kind
high
of got to
right
wait
now.
out to see how the season plays out.
Dude, I think a guy flying under the radar is Jabari Smith. I mean, this is the guy who was a top pick just a few years ago, and then like you hear other players when they're asked about him in post game, they just like gas him up, and then you give him Kevin Durant. I think his market is going to benefit from that too.
Dude, the Rockets, man, they're set up for success. Honestly, I like that
It's gonna be
trade.
fun.
Yeah, and I was
As a
looking at a
very
post
casual
earlier.
NBA guy, I'm excited about the Rockets.
Yeah, yeah, I was looking at a post earlier. It's like they were comparing Jabari Smith to Paolo Banchero. When they're both coming out the draft, and I was like, does he have that potential to reach that expectations now? I mean, now that there's a little bit, I think there's more room for him to grow. Honestly, younger,
He's so young.
yeah, he's
He's
young.
so young. So
That team is young.
yeah, right. Right. So yeah, we'll see what happens with Durant. I'm sure there's going to be some trickle down there. Cool. Let's do a little like card of the day type thing. You care?
Card of the day. Yeah, let's do
You
it.
care? I've got this is from my PC. Is Ramondre Stevenson, 1 of 1, National Treasures,
A laundry
RPA,
tag.
laundry tag, baby.
Wow. What size jersey do you wear? Is that a 48?
I guess so. Probably one of my favorite cards in my collection. So Ramondre Stevenson, NT, 1 of 1.
This is out of my PC, and it's going to grading soon. This is the first year Tim Duncan Kaboom,
That's so cool.
2013. Tim Duncan is my PC. Tim Duncan Alvin Kamara is my PC. So this is like my newest edition, and I'm very happy to have it. It's such a
That's
cool
a
card.
big
I think
card.
I think it's super undervalued, dude. If you compare it to like older Kabooms to like other players, like I think the Patrick Ewing is like a $3,000 card. I think
Yeah. The hobby hates big men.
yeah, I'm taking Tim Duncan over Patrick Ewing all day.
I'm with you, dude.
Yeah.
I'm with you. All right. How can they check out everything that we're doing on social media?
Auburn.cards on Instagram, Auburn.cards on TikTok. We're on TikTok now. I've been doing some crazy wonky stuff over there.
Yeah. Yeah. No, some just trend stuff. And then of course, like, vendor POV stuff and clips from the shows and all that. So check that out. And if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. If you're listening on audio, please subscribe. Helps us out a ton. And as always, we love it. Let's keep talking cards.